joining us. Martha Boneta is a policy advisor and chief surrogate for the America First Political Action Committee, which is the sanctioned Donald Trump Political Action Committee. She's also a vice president for the Citizens of Republic PAC, which is the first PAC that Ronald Reagan ever had and still exists today. And she is with us now. Martha, great to have you with us.
Good morning. It was great to see you last night at Trump Hotel with so many great Americans. What a night.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun last night at the event that we were at, and it was good to see you also. Mike Pence was there, made a very upbeat, inspiring speech, so that was a lot of fun. It's always good to see our friends. I had a chance to talk to Donald Trump Jr. last evening, who was there, so that was interesting.
Congressman Louis Gohmert, my prediction is a vote on Tuesday. He said it would come in on Wednesday for the tax bill. So
now they're saying Monday, so I don't know when it is.
Right.
It's going to be next week. They have to wait for McCain to get back. They might do that, try to get that worked out. But we actually had a long talk with Louis Gohmert last night from Texas, who was really walking us through the shenanigans that go on in some of the caucus meetings. Yeah, but he's a swamp drainer. They don't like him, no question about it. Martha, what is going on with Dominion and these vandals?
Well, let me tell you. As you know, the pipeline, the Atlantic Coast Pipeline, it went through its final approval stages with the Water Board recently, and there was a hearing held in Richmond, and this group that operates in the dark of night, they're anonymous. They have their own website there. They're bragging on the World Wide Web about vandalizing and trespassing on one of the Virginia Water Board members' home. And, John, these are the same folks that claim that they're doing these vigilante acts in the name of property rights, right? They claim, among other things, they don't want the pipeline. They don't want hardworking Americans to have clean, abundant, reliable energy. And one of the claims they make is that it's because they want to protect property rights. And then what do? They trespass and brag about it on the World Wide Web, really just trying to intimidate and harass a board member. And it just goes to show that they don't really believe in property rights. It's just, they throw that out there as a way to try and rally support. But then they go and violate somebody's, property rights. And these are just thugs that use these tactics and brag about it. And I would love to get your thoughts on it. It's unbelievable. I mean, these are folks that want to prevent energy independence. They want hardworking Americans to not have reliable energy. I mean, they claim that they want all of these things, yet they're the first ones to cry when their cell phones and iPads aren't charged. So it's extraordinary, and this is something that won't be tolerated. I mean, a lot of homes now have, video surveillance cameras, and for all they know, they were caught on video surveillance cameras, and any day now the police are going to come and haul them off.
Well, that's what needs to happen, because, like you said, on the eve of the Atlantic Coast Pipeline decision, a board member's home gets vandalized. I mean, there was a picture posted. They put a banner. They hung it over their front porch. That's the invasion of private property. I mean, you can't vandalize homes because you don't like a policy, of one of the things. These people should get handcuffed, hauled off, posted bail, have a hearing. I mean, you can't do this. I mean, these are enviro thugs, as you mentioned, and there should be some decorum here. I mean, you can't come and vandalize people's property and get away with it because you don't like their political vote on a particular issue. We would have to protect every congressman, every General Assembly member in the United States, every council member, every supervisor would have to have, bodyguards. You can't be vandalizing homes and get away with it. So I would hope that the police look into this.
Credibility too. I mean, that's not activism. I mean, you and I know what activism is, and you and I, of all people, believe in the freedom of speech. But this isn't activism. This isn't freedom of speech. It's harassment, and it just goes to show you that they really their arguments makes them lose credibility, is what it does, and it just really makes their argument lose any weight at all, because it shows that their only option is to try and intimidate and harass by doing these shenanigans and then proudly, bragging about it on the web. I mean, that's not activism, as you know.
The website you sent me called, and I want to just bring this to people's attention, it's called itsgoingdown.org. Itsgoingdown.org. And what they posted, they said, the following anonymous report was sent to the IGD, which is itsgoingdown.org, which we will reprint below. It details actions people have undertaken in concert with the ongoing struggle against the Atlantic Coast Pipeline and the Mountain Valley Pipeline in Virginia, which we discussed on some podcast. And so they detailed the vandalism right here on their website.
Bragging about it.
Bragging about the fact that they're going to continue to threaten those making decisions that sit on the water board in Virginia that have to make this decision on the pipeline. They're bragging about the fact that they're going to continue to vandalize their places of business or residence. I mean, and they post it, and there's no consequences. I mean, what the heck is going on in America? Could you imagine if conservatives did this on something? I mean, they would be dragged out, and CNN and MSNBC and NBC would have them on national news. Yet these people can post things. I mean, if you read this, it's unbelievable. Basically, they say, we are going to vandalize your home and business if you don't vote our way. And they post it. And then they post pictures of the vandalism.
And they're proud of it with their green Antifa logo. They put a green Antifa logo on their sign. And you're absolutely right. It is so outrageous. And, it's a new level of thuggery. But, it fails. And I'll tell you, their website's called itsgoingdown.com. Let me tell you, the only thing that's going down are these folks because they've lost all credibility. I mean, who's going to take them seriously when they're doing these kinds of things? And you're right. And, one of the things I've pointed out is that, a lot of people have video cameras. They're cheap, they're affordable, they're all over the place. And for all they know, they're walking around and one day, they're hauled off to jail because they've been caught and they will get caught. And,
well, the government,
but you're right. It's an outrage and they need to be called out and really, frankly, shamed for this behavior because it is shameful and it's outrageous. And you know what it does? It takes all credibility away from them because you know what? This project, this Atlantic Coast Pipeline project, has the strictest, most stringent water protections built in it than any other project of its kind has ever had in the history of these projects. And so, instead of acknowledging that and appreciating that, they go and they do these antics. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And and frankly, like I said, it makes them lose all credibility. And it really takes away from whatever arguments that they had, because it just shows that they're trying to intimidate and be thugs instead of really focusing on really solid arguments.
I mean, look, they're saying they want to protect property, and then they're destroying property to do what they say is to protect property. I mean, these people are enviro thugs. They ought to be locked up and hauled off in a paddy wagon, because we have laws in this country that you simply can't go on and vandalize other people's businesses or property because you don't like what they do. There's
exactly
laws.
Right.
Otherwise, you have a chaotic society, and they get away with it because they're part of Antifa. Like, everybody looks the other way. I mean, if anybody did this on the conservative end of it, people would be going absolutely ballistic, and it's shameful. It absolutely is shameful.
It is, and so basically their argument is this. We don't want hardworking Americans to have access to clean, reliable, affordable energy, and we don't believe Americans should have property rights. So we're gonna, we want you to be back in the Stone Ages, and but don't take away our cell phones or our iPads, right? We gotta still have those. But
we have to have we have to be able to.
It's unbelievable, John, and we're going to be monitoring this really closely. And their website is called "It's Going Down." Well, guess what? Their credibility just went down. So
you're 100% right.
Amazing how these things backfire, isn't it?
Martha, we're out of time. I want to thank Martha Boneta for being with us, policy advisor and the surrogate for America First PAC and Vice President of Citizens for the Republic Political Action Committee. Martha, great to have you with us.